There. Our students are our schools, Raven High School English students. Come on down.
Good evening. Thanks for having us. Tonight we have Miss Cassavant here with a couple of our students, Aiden Phillip and Maddie Callahan, to talk about some poetry they've been doing.
Okay, so the assignment that I have here is a poetry podcast. It was assignment assessment where students chose a theme to or whether they wanted. It could be anything they felt passionately about, anything that they wanted to explore. Could be like sport, could be like a day in the life, anything that they really wanted to investigate using forms of poetry. They had to pick 8 different forms of poetry that we went through in our creative writing class last semester. They had to create a Dear Reader letter that talked about their progress, their achievements, their challenges. As they were going throughout this, we workshopped in class. It was student-centered. So they had a lot of voice and choice here. They really took ownership in their project because they could pick really whatever they wanted. They also had to choose 2 poems or written works that were from either well-known poets, songs that related to their theme or their topic as well. They also had to have it accompanied with a visual element as well that goes along with one of their poems. And they put it together in a book to kind of just wrap it all up together. It did take about like 3 weeks. We also went through all the poems together as a class. We workshopped those, talked about the different formats, and then they worked on their poetry anthology project. Kind of like a self-directed. We also did a lot of group work, peer editing, peer revising. So all in all, it took about 3 weeks. This is from the English curriculum. All of us English teachers kind of tweak it, make it our own. But it really shows a lot of student choice and voice, a lot of student-centered learning and ownership. And these guys did an incredible job. So they're going to share some thoughts with you.
Excellent.
To begin, I made my anthology on my favorite music artist, Hozier, and I did this because his music to me is so moving and motivating, and it's so meaningful. Every single word he says has some story or meaning or just overall message behind it, and I think that his music is very influential. My first poem that I would like to read aloud is a free verse. It's named Andrew Hozier Byron, which is his name. The melodies linger in the air. His intriguing voice takes 2 different forms. One expresses anger, power, robust. The other is quiet, hurt, but fighting to be heard. These voices combine into a beautiful work of art that sings tragically to your soul. Listen closely, you will hear it in your essence. And my second poem, this has been a long one, and I also made a visual for it. This one is a ballad, and it's called My Heart is a Wasteland. Ethereal my joy may appear to the naked eye, but if you search deep inside, you will see hatred consumes me, not for others, for this world, what we've become, and myself. Judgment misplaced in my inability to love thee. I yearned for a deep romance, the type that will break my mind, simply to blame myself once the relationship is gone. So I will continue to be as I've always been. Because the secret is, I love it when it's just me at dawn. I enjoy my coffee long past midnight. It's who I am. Unlike society, I am modest and aim quite low. These expectations aren't me. My resent is growing. Oh, honey, why can't you see me for the mess that I show? Once again, I feel it in the bittersweet love you give me. I hate how you make me wake up feeling disoriented. Our mess of love and disgusting lives simply intertwined. Still I dote, your horrid beauty makes me implemented. And this poem was actually based off of a few of his songs. Songs called Take Me to Church, Wasteland Baby, Be Too Sweet, Would That I, Angel, Small Death, The Codeine Scene, and To Be Alone. And those were my two poems that I picked, and this was the visual for it.
Awesome.
My topic wasn't as thought out as hers. I did mine, actually, so the title is One Day I'm Gonna Grow Wings. It's off of the song lyric from Radiohead's Let Down. It's like second to last part. My topic is more about the feelings that humans have with loved ones and overall the presence that they put out on themselves. More talks about how humans are eternal, but their feelings and the way they show it can be, or at least last longer than they ever will. So, my first poem is a quatrain. It's called Your Presence Evermore. My world of ice and snow melts at your sight, like the warmth of your gaze, its heated light. That light still warms my soul to this day, even with your spirit and not body being the one to stay. My second one of these are short. Is my Tonka poem called May You Be at Peace. May you know your worth like I know your love in full as we sit here now with your hand in mine warmly, the greatest to have been mine.
Nice.
Good. Any questions?
Yeah, I just have a question. What English class, like, what's the title of the class?
Oh, sorry, creative writing.
Okay, all right. I just wasn't sure because I know juniors and seniors have electives to choose from, so it's creative writing. Okay, cool. I thought that was great.
Yes. Very, very good. Anyone?
Were you, either of you, interested in poetry before taking the creative writing class?
No.
I don't think they could.
Did you know you were going to write poetry when you signed up for creative writing?
Not at
Yeah.
all.
Do you recommend the class to others?
Absolutely.
Very good. Very nice.
That's awesome. Yes, and that's a very good teacher in my opinion. I appreciate her a lot.
It also transformed poetry for me. Like at first writing it was pretty much a punishment. Did not like it. And we never had to practice it up until creative writing. But I think learning more about it as I got older and as I had more freedom and more thoughts and expressions that I wanted to share with the world, I think poetry became a beautiful thing instead of something to be forced upon.
You hear that punishment sort of aspect a lot, like, oh, we have poetry coming up, but I think that it's great that you have so many different types of poetry. Like I've never heard of some of these poetry, poems myself, and just learning about those. I think it was really great. So nice job.
Great job. Thanks for not choosing a limerick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you both. Nice work.
Thank you.
I assume, the one's back. Okay, yeah. I don't want to, get it ruined.
But I'm gonna read cover to cover.
Pretty boring. I got a stack of them. I'll give you the Tom one too if you like it that much.
Oh, boy. Guys.
All right. Yeah, me. Got.
You ready?
John.
I'll make a motion to do a non-public under RSA 91A:3 Roman numeral 2 B, C, and M. Okay.
All right. Second by Steve. Discussion. Steve.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Yep.
Kristen. Get my hat there.
use them, so I might as well wait until I really need them and we'll never take them off.
I can't.
I want to just jump to LASIK. Can I do that? Skip
You know, they often won't unless your eyes are really bad. There's a certain limit.
Oh,
If you only have a little bit of vision issue, they usually because I tried to too, because mine aren't horrible. My
Yeah.
doctor's like, they're not bad enough.
So the risk isn't worth the increase in vision.
You don't get as, it's to the point where you wouldn't get it back enough.
I'll make a motion that we exit non-public.
All right,
second.
discussion. Is that a roll call?
It is.
Steve?
Yes. Yes.
Tony?
Yep.
Myself, yes. Right, moving on. Public input. Anyone for public input?
Go back the crowd.
All right, we'll leave that open till my eyes are found.
40.
30 minutes.
6:45.
With you.
Yeah, if anyone's. Next, student representative to the school board.
Right. So it's starting to become busy season, coming to the end of spring break, at least for our Spirit Week stuff. We have some dress up days coming next week, and as well as some lip syncs and hallway decorating coming up soon, which is fun. We have some fundraisers going on. Our student council is doing a fundraiser to buy a teacher in the face, so students can pay to purchase tickets, and the teacher who gets the most tickets will get pied in the face. We also have a car wash fundraiser this weekend happening at Deck Tech for the classes of 2027 and 2028. Last week we had our PSAT and SATs, which is so fun, as we all know. And yeah, those pretty much went off without a hitch. And softball and baseball both had their opening today with a win for softball, 5-0.
And Deck Tech is the place on 156. Is that, where is that located? If people
Next to
want to go.
McDonald's.
Okay, so I'm way off. Don't listen to me. Next to McDonald's. Get your car washed. When is that again?
This weekend, I think Saturday, maybe Sunday.
This is the 19th or 18th.
Today. Today's
I
15th.
pay extra, will they do the
Todd
whole
might know.
thing?
I think it's on Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
The date of the car wash?
On
It is
Sundays?
Sunday. The 19th.
19th.
Good. Is that it? Any questions? Monthly financial update.
The financials you have in your packet tonight go through March 31st. Upon reviewing the revenues, I do expect us to be receiving clearly the current appropriations. We have received the full amount as of April of the state adequacy and the building aid. Medicaid reimbursement seems to be coming in more steadily this month. So I'm hoping we're going to make some catch-up efforts there. Special education aid is going to remain the same at 320. And I do foresee us receiving full for the after school, before school. The tuitions, I do expect that to be about $20,000 higher, more than what we budgeted this year. Impact fees are going to fall short where they are at. Indirect costs, I think we might be short maybe about $5,000 there. Vocational charter school aid, those we received more than what we budgeted for. And then the solar renewable energy certificates I mentioned last month. So we should be receiving at least 2 more quarters, I would say, for that. And then the other revenues, 360 of that again is for that biomass boiler grant that we got, that we just recently received this week, the remaining 10% of that. And that's to go towards the lease payment for this year.
All right, any questions? Seeing none?
Food service. Nope, sorry, I lied. Summary of general fund expenditures by object code. So still seeing an overage in salaries through retirement with all the benefits of $650,000. The offset you will see down below is mostly due to contracted services, which has $539,000 left in those function codes there. And then student tuitions, we're expecting to save money there as well. But again, with the architect of $285,000 and the lease payment of $258,000, that puts us would have put us in the red for 543, but as you can see, we're only 119 in the red for the general fund. So we're pinching pennies and trying to get us there.
All right. Questions?
Then the food service. For March, we did see another shortfall again in revenue. I'm trying to gauge it daily. That's how I basically come up with these figures now, trying to figure out what the daily amount that we received per day. At the same time, reconciling the expenses. I do know that she has started some stuff a few weeks ago in regards to a coffee bar here at the high school. I still haven't had a chance to make it over here yet. Is it going good?
I'd say it's going pretty well, yeah.
Okay, good. And then I know that she's been working on getting the pizza and the burgers and everything like that out for the a la carte as opposed to meals. So, but right now I'm showing about a $50,000 extra loss than what we budgeted for.
John?
152 that we're transferring. Do you anticipate that going up or down? And if you don't know, that's fine.
You don't know, John. It's a month-to-month basis. I'm watching the revenues.
But I also understand that it's, sometimes we know, okay, food has already been purchased, not purchasing any more food and those types of things. So, okay.
So I've tried to gauge the savings in the food line. You guys don't see a detail of the expenses for the food service. If that is something you want moving forward, I can provide that. But I have projected for us to actually have savings on the food lines because we're nowhere near spending to what we've budgeted for the elementary and high school. I think the middle school we might go over.
So it's salary and benefits.
So we're not buying the food, we're not selling, basically, is what it comes down to.
Well, I think she's taking more advantage of her commodities that we have and using the stuff that we get from the state and trying to buy less food through performance and,
So,
speaking of Saunders, Hood, which you really can't do without, so.
okay. Questions? All right, keep on trucking.
Thank you, Marcia.
You're welcome.
That's me then, huh? Audit report, 25, 26.
Hope we all read it before now.
I'm looking at the, I guess, the abridged version here.
I didn't get the chance to peruse.
It's pretty typical, but, did you want to say anything before I go into my?
I typically have things I flag, but if you want to go first, you can.
Well, you'll probably mention the, deputy treasurer thing, because that's,
I'll go over the findings, yep.
we put that, on the ballot a few years ago and it got voted down, which in my opinion, we never should have done that. I think we need to have a discussion on going ahead and doing that. in Future.
I think when we put it on the ballot, I think it was a confusing way of how we did it. I think if we took a more clear path,
And they wanted to increase the pay to the treasurer at the same time, right?
I don't think it was I don't think it was an increase of the treasurer.
They
I
wanted
think it was
pay the
trying to.
Deputy a small stipend to
Correct,
500, was it? Something small.
something like that, yeah.
So I think I was not around for the vote, or at least not here on the board. So what was the,
We wanted to get a deputy treasurer because it's necessary. It's not good to not have one. And, the board, came to the conclusion that it should be placed on the warrant article or placed on the ballot, and it got voted down. So we did not do that and still have not done that. And, I think we should just do it.
I mean, is there any reason we can't just hire someone or do
Nope.
that? And it's,
It's an
you
appointment.
said $500?
Correct. Correct.
I don't know if most deputies get paid, but I don't think it would be a bad idea. Clearly, they are
Have to-
telling us we have to have one, but I think it would be nice too, because I don't think our treasurer wants to, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think he's not gonna want to do this forever. Do you know what I mean? So I think it would be a good opportunity to train somebody for when he doesn't want to run again. And then
Or in the event he can't do it anymore.
exactly, if something happens
Right. You
medically.
want someone to be able to step in and continue the job, right?
Well, and then if the treasurer,
Redundancy.
if the actual treasurer doesn't come back and they get a new treasurer, you at least have somebody who can carry the knowledge across.
There were two articles. One was to increase the stipend of the treasurer from 3,000 to 3,750. That's your
Correct.
memory.
Yep.
And then the other
Does it
one
work?
was, shall the district vote to add a stipend of 500 for training purposes for a deputy treasurer, and then goes on. And neither one,
I think every money thing failed that year, right?
close to it.
Was that the year the REA contract?
That failed by after the recount by a vote.
Okay. Go ahead now, sorry.
No, you're okay. So the stale dated checks, that's something I'm continuously working on in my office. The
What again?
Huh?
What again did you say?
stale dated checks.
And that means for us
Yeah.
non-money people, that it's not cashed or it's
Yeah.
floating.
And I tried cleaning it up. 2019, 2020.
But are we supposed to go through the state to return the funds, and have we done that?
Problem is, it's been hard. So what I've been trying to do, so we don't have to go through the state, is I've actually been trying to reach out to all of these people. So we can just void the check, get their updated information, and then send them a new check.
Right.
But a lot of that's been time consuming, and then some of them it did work, but then I get busy and I don't have time to like focus on it again, and then it just goes by the wayside. So I want to talk to the auditors about a better way, if there's a way that they can help me clean these up.
But their recommendation was to go through the state. Why don't we just do that? To return them?
I don't know. I don't know if that's what I gotta talk to them about. In my eyes, that's the correct way to do it. So I gotta talk to them. I want to see what other districts are doing, because I don't believe that we're the only ones.
This was on the thing last year, right?
Yes.
So we've sent people checks that have not cashed as far back as 2019.
Because some of them are like $24, and I think some people are just like, it's $24, and they don't get a chance to the bank, or they lose it, or go, like, we get.
And then they go, "Ah, it's 24."
It went through the
I
wash.
think you
you
could just
know,
take a picture of it in 2019.
No.
That's the old day. You had to go to the bank,
Yeah,
Must do that.
right?
exactly.
What is that? A bank?
Yeah, it's a building, I think, but it holds all the money.
Yeah.
It's not my house then.
I mean, we could do one of those, find SAU33money.com.
Okay.
Log in. We have one?
We have one. I got a letter in the mail, and I had Karen do it. And she had to notarize it, and I mailed it in.
It's like you hear on the
So
radio
we
all the
had-
time.
we
Matt.
had money.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it was probably a check issued by a vendor for like a reimbursement of something, and we never got it.
Do you know about how much money they total up to? Is it a significant amount or is it ballpark?
No, a lot of them are small. They're like $24 or
But
when
how
we used to
many
get
are
that.
there?
Right, is there,
There's not that many.
5 or like 100.
it's just
You're talking less than.
nuisance stuff, yeah.
I'd say it's something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Because the ones with the vendors, they're easy to get in touch with. It's the individual people that have moved 5 times,
It's enough of a pain that it's on the books.
Correct. Yeah. So like right now is the time that I can focus on this and I can try to get it down, so I'm working on it,
Really good use of your time.
but I'm not gonna go there in a public meeting. Purchase orders. So this was a new one. They're saying it was noted that multiple purchase orders were created after the invoice date. I have emailed my staff and the secretaries to let them know to clean that up, not to let that happen anymore. I do send my letters out with the P cards too, telling them if you are doing a P card purchase, the best practice is to enter it when you're making that P card purchase. But we definitely need it before the P card log comes back up to the SAU. Untimely deposit.
John,
Did you cover tracking of vending machine sales? You did?
I thought I did. I did. I think that's where I was going, where we backed up to the still dated checks.
Okay, yeah.
So this one was on last year, and the only reason why it's a repeat comment is because Tasha had left and we got a new food service person. So I kind of dropped the ball on this one because they actually have reporting to let us know why it's vending. And personally, I was arguing this one with the auditors because we have a line that we call vending and à la carte.
Mhm.
So to me, it goes in that line, but they just want me to break it out one level further by just calling something vending. So when we have that information, so at the end of the year, I'm just going to move that value that we've received from vending out of the à la carte and move it into a vending line.
There is a difference, right, between the à la carte and vending.
There is,
Because à la carte would be like if I wanted one slice of pizza or nothing else.
correct.
And then, yeah, so.
That and just to make sure what's coming and going, right?
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Untimely deposits, this was at the high school. I've already emailed them. And she's already gotten back to me saying, okay, I've been doing this every 5 days, but I'll make sure now that you got this. And the one that I'm most frustrated about is this next one. So what ended up happening this year with the audit is that the federal guidelines were withheld so long that the audit was, like, I really thought this audit was going to get done a lot sooner. But the federal guidelines for our grant audit were not released, and that one's tied to this one. So those weren't released until really late, I want to say January, February. So then by the time the auditors could finish our audit, I want to say it was 10 days before I had to have it submitted to the federal clearinghouse for our audit. So I did not have much time to review this audit and ask them questions about it. I did ask them this specific one because I know I get a copy of every bank reconciliation that each school district does on a monthly basis. I know she does her bank reconciliations. I know that this is here. So I had to email her this and explain to her, look, I know you do this, but I have to email you it. But I need you to know that, like, you need to keep doing what you're doing and bringing these up. So next year I will argue with the auditors about, because this should not be there.
When do you know about these, what are they called? Whatever
The findings.
findings.
So they typically give me an idea about them when they leave. This one was never
This would
on
have
the
happened
radar.
in the summer.
It happened, yeah,
Or
it was the fall, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And we talked about the deputy treasurer. We talked about
Mhm.
most of the other ones, but this one I don't remember. So I emailed him and I said, hey, what's going on with this one? And he goes, well, when we came to do our field work, this is what it was. And I'm like, I had all the boxes with me. Like, the bank reconciliations were in those boxes, and I give you an annual reconciliation that I do myself. So
Can I back up for 1 second?
Mhm.
Who is in charge of selecting, does the treasurer, pick their own deputy, or do we pick and appoint them? How does that?
I'd have to look at the RSN.
it's been a while,
When
Tony.
we take it up at another agenda, we should have that information. Right?
Worth knowing, I guess. Anything else with that? Any questions? All right, so we're not one of these districts that's suddenly coming up millions of dollars. All right, that's a good thing, because it's happening a lot more than makes me comfortable, honestly. It's a lot of money that they're missing.
Okay. It's crazy.
I don't
The
even
number's astronomical.
understand it, honestly. Someone's not doing something. Where are we? HVAC controls bidding. Are we done with that? We
I
need to-
typically go through the audit and pinpoint some key things, but if you don't want.
No, I mean, if you want to keep going, it's pretty standard stuff, right?
So in the actual report,
Just for orientation, can you
Yeah.
throw me page numbers while we're?
you can just come up and right? So the first one I typically point you guys to is page 1, where it says independent auditor's report, like this. So in their opinion, the accompanying financial statements present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the governmental activities, each major fund and aggregate remaining fund information of the school district as of June 30th, 2025. Which basically says in all material respects, we're fine, we're not $1 million short.
Sweet.
Then the next page I typically bring you guys to is page 14. Exhibit D, like that. And that basically is telling you where we received our money from and where our money was spent. And what sections, what functions, what we received from local, what we received state, federal. Okay, page 36.
Keep going until someone stops you.
I'll keep going. Page 36, notes of the basic financial statements, and this is right above note 16. And this one I just typically point out so you guys can see what is in our CRFs as of June 30th, 2025. And if you look below, those are the assigned figures that we had. So we still had 46,000 of encumbrances. The unassigned fund balance for the retainage is 447, and then the student activity funds. And then on page 52, that's the independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting. And again, during our audit, we don't identify any deficiencies in internal control that we consider to be material weaknesses. And then the last page is on page 54, and that is the same thing, but for our federal programs, our grants, basically telling you the same thing.
Go back to page 35.
Yep.
What is the scholarships for students under restricted governmental activities and fiduciary fund net position?
You went to
35.
35. So you
Note
have,
14.
so you have scholarships with the town,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what that is.
Seems like a lot.
There's about 6 scholarships we have.
That are in,
I know when they do class nights.
I know,
approach, the people
right,
give
they
them
do
out.
class nights, and
So is that-
that's
Right.
where some of those are.
So is that like
76,000?
if the Masons give money for a scholarship, that's where that money goes until it gets dispensed?
I don't know how it works with that, but we have, I'll pull it up. It's one of the strangest things. I don't know why I do reconciliations on them. And I believe I've had the conversation with Kevin a couple of times. I do have an email from him that I could go back to, but that might take me some time.
It's not super important. I'm just,
So when I do the trust fund reconciliation every month, you have 1, 2, 3, you have 6 scholarships, 7 that the town holds. So you have the Blanchard / McDougal Scholarship,
never heard of it.
the Women's Civic Club Scholarship, the George Goodrich Scholarship, the Peter Stevens Scholarship, Norma S. Coos Scholarship, Iberholmes Gove Scholarship. And then we did have one a couple of years ago that became a new one, and I had deposited it on our side, and I was told I couldn't, that it had to go kind of like back that way.
So would you say the town, you mean like the trustee of the trust funds are in control of it?
They have that money. So when students get scholarships from here, I never see that transaction.
What were so those are all scholarships with balances?
So it's essentially like a SRF or a CRF?
And
They're
there's,
done differently than the others that are.
Right, okay. Cause I'm just like, where,
but like, I've never seen money put into these accounts. I've never seen money taken out of these accounts. They just get their interest and dividends. So like it's
didn't even know we
they're
had
scholarship
those.
funds, you know what I mean? Like I want to see them to be used.
yeah, that's what,
Right,
like,
yeah.
if we have
I don't know how to
$80,000 in a,
process them.
Is that I didn't want to say, it. Is that the number, 79,566?
I mean,
Across all 7 of those?
That's all of them.
Last night?
I've never heard of those scholarships.
I didn't even either.
Goodrich, I've heard.
When's the last time they were awarded? Do we know? Can we get a statement on that account? Or-
Iberholmes Grove has been awarded recently.
It's only that I'm finishing my 8th year. It has never been. money had put into those accounts. We had one that was created, a new one that we were going to take care of internally, and we were told that we could not. And that is the Workforce to Learn Development Grant Scholarship.
A lot of words.
Just
Mhm.
streamline.
Do we know what it takes to actually grant somebody an award from those scholarship
I don't
funds?
even know who you,
I think the people that run those scholarships would be the ones
There's
deciding
individuals or
now.
Groups.
There's probably some criteria to be met,
So
essay.
when the seniors fill out those forms,
Mhm.
that's, they choose somebody from that?
Well, like I know when the town gave out a few of them 2 years ago, when we were kind of wiping out that account because there's a bunch of money in it. We just
Well,
sat
'cause we-
there and reviewed a bunch of applications and come to a
That's funny.
consensus. Yeah, we all picked
I
our.
just have never seen any of these get dispensed from, so I don't know if there's criteria. If we can get some documentation on what does it take? Do we have any stake in this at all?
Some funds,
Do
they can,
we-
you can only spend the interest. So if it's one of those ones where you can't touch that money, only allowed to spend the interest.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is all news to me, so any information would be
So if it's
wonderful.
a $10,000 grant, but you can only spend the $500 that's earned in interest.
Right, because the library has one, it's got like 80,000, but they can't spend
Can't
that money, they can
spend
spend the interest. It's just weird
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't know, I think a couple folks have said it. I'd like to see, if there's money to be given to students, I'd love to see us do.
Yeah, or find out who's in charge of giving it out and, because that seems like a lot.
I can try to find, I'm looking for it right now, the email between Kevin, myself and Terry that I had a while ago, but I'm not, it's
We
not.
get Friday memo,
Okay.
Mhm.
not dwell on it tonight. But that seemed interesting. I've never seen that before.
All right, boring audit to the side. Thanks for your patience, Todd.
Is that what we're up to, control bidding process? Ready? Mr. Ledoux? Come on down.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. So great.
Didn't get a response.
We're fantastic.
Very good, good to hear. The controls product of the elementary was what I'm get this year. I am looking for approval to go with EEI as the company to oversee the project. EEI essentially would act in the same capacity they acted in for the energy project as well as the high school control project. They would essentially write the RFP, oversee the installation, oversee the design, oversee the commissioning of the project. They would seek out the grants for the project. They would basically handle everything from soup to nuts for the project. They would provide us open book pricing, so they would go out to bid, then provide us with the bids they get back. So we as a district can choose the preferred vendor we want to use based on the bids. We don't have the capacity to do the design work, to do the commissioning of it. So we essentially have to hire somebody anyway to do that. The other reason is we'd like to keep it, I would like to keep it very similar, the same as we have for controls at the other two schools. So it's all on the same platform, same controller, same valve, same situation for maintenance, for ease of use for myself and for my guys, both during school and after hours when we're monitoring these things. Basically, that's it in a nutshell. Their cost is a max 5%. 5% is pretty much industry standard. So like I said, open book pricing, so there's nothing hidden, nothing like that. We get to still see the bids. It's just we're using them to do all their work, which they're earning 5%.
And they installed the ones here, right? So,
They did here, they did this similar situation with the whole entire energy project. And it's the same process we use for the roof project here at the high school.
They're gonna get 5%, and we estimated back in the summer, it was gonna cost ballpark 267.
Without grants, we think we're gonna be able to find some grants.
I guess what I'm driving at is it's gonna cost, so we owe them no more than like 14,000.
Yeah, I think I think we'll be able to cover that within the whole, what we have in CIP as it is.
And we're not required to go out to bid for anything. Are we required to go out to bid by policy on anything, or is it above 20? It's above 10.
Mhm.
I had a number, but I had the wrong number.
Now, that would be our policy or is that a state?
That's policy.
So we
Well,
could
it's
waive
board
that.
policy.
Yeah, we could just override that.
Yeah.
So we need a motion.
Make a motion that we, tell me if I'm forming this wrong, but, allow Todd to use EEI to, project manage the HVAC controls bidding process.
Second.
All right, second by John. Discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
unanimous. Thank you very much.
Sir?
Anything else?
Mhm.
So next item, MOU with Town of Raymond, R.E. Welch Fields.
Yep. So in your packet, there is a MOU between the town of Raymond and the Raymond High School to use the Welch Fields and concession facility.
Before we go on, I've got to ask the question because if we remember correctly, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we, the school board at the time, asked the town, specifically the selectmen, to come up with an agreement to use all these things that we've been doing. Facilities that we use, that they use, and they plow our parking lots and such, and all those other things that were going on at the time. And they didn't want to do anything with us. We were fortunate to get a reply to leave it at that. And who's asking for this to happen? This agreement?
The town.
The town wants to do this now? But they only want to do it for this particular thing and not everything that we do. To me, I wouldn't do this until we can talk about everything. To me, that's the way to do it properly.
Okay, well. So this was something that was put in place because there were no anything. The field was just sitting there and people were going there and doing whatever. So this was put in place to protect the town. And that's basically it. I mean, they already approved the schedule. It's just basically,
And they're gonna charge us fees.
we're gonna charge fees for the lights and that's it. $35 an
Do
hour.
we charge any fees to the town for use of our facilities? Huh. And they're gonna
All
charge
right,
us.
anyone like to make a motion?
Well, I'd like to hear Todd or somebody go through it. 'Cause I have questions about the MOU, whether I agree we should be doing it or not.
I was just here in case you had questions. I don't have a presentation for it. It's not really my dog, but
All right, so there's
Yeah.
questions, John?
answer questions about it.
Yep. One of the things I didn't understand was on page 2 of the document. I know you don't have it, but I'll reference where I'm at. It's talking about scheduling and it's only talking about, I just want to make sure I speak correctly. It's talking about approval for the use of the football field, but yet there's also the baseball and softball field. Are they saying that we don't need prior approval for that?
No, that's part of the town property. Use of town property.
Well, what I'm saying, Tony, is this is specifically says with final approval for use of the football field granted by the town's Board of Selectmen. It doesn't say anything about baseball field or softball. So to me, that means we only have to get permission for football, which doesn't make sense for what Tony is saying. And that's what I'm just trying to understand is,
Well, again,
shouldn't it include baseball and softball?
they applied for all three of those sports and they were all approved on Monday. So,
Yeah, it is odd because in the facility use, it does show all of them.
Yeah, that's
well,
what,
that was because the main issue was the football field, because there were other organizations.
Trying to get in there.
Yes, I mean, this applies to all of the fields. I have to.
Did we have our attorneys looking for cigarette? I'm not sure. So we don't have a good reason for that. Okay. Next up, concession stand. It talks about the following conditions shall apply to the concession. Only prepackaged food items and beverages may be sold to the concession stand. But then the next one talks about no on-site cooking or food preparation shall occur inside the concession stand structure. Does that mean we can?
The use of
They
the building is.
grill
not-
outside of the,
Yes.
yeah, they'll
Like
grill
they-
and.
Like they
serve
have been
things
doing,
outside.
they have one of
I
those.
just want to
black
make sure I
stove-
understood
Yes,
the
the use of the,
rationale. So can
Use
we
of the
sell
building.
those foods because they're not prepackaged? Is that implied?
Yes, so the prepackaged foods are through the concession stand, like.
Yeah,
from
so
I understand that, but what it's saying is we can't sell anything other than prepackaged food items.
Through the concession stand.
So I will say, I understand what you guys are saying, but so
I just don't want us to get.
there's no kitchen in there anymore.
there's no kitchen, but I guess it depends on what your definition of through the concession stand
Right.
means, because if there's a concession stand that sells everything, then the money goes through the concession stand, even though the burgers are cooked outside the stand. I think it's sort of a semantic situation, but I do.
Yeah, no, I
So-
think
It's Todd has a.
Sorry.
So that's the same question. The issue came up because the building itself is not licensed to
right. And there was like a full kitchen in there that was not inspected or anything.
prepare and sell popcorn, hot dogs, everything 10 feet away from it. You cannot make the food, bring it inside and sell it through the building.
So it has to be sold outside,
Yeah, kind of like they have been doing.
which is fine. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that-
Well, they bought
So
a
they're really
mobile
making that
concession
So
stand.
I can't cook a dozen burgers at the grill outside and then bring them into the room and sell them through the window.
Correct. Unless they're prepackaged. apparently.
What the hell?
They got their own concession stand now, so it's not an issue.
There's so many split ends in this thing. The hairs are splitting left and right.
Yeah.
I get it. I suppose if that's the legality of the, whatever they call it here, victualer's license, the food sales license.
The weird state thing is popcorn has to be prepackaged.
If we use the building, that's the rule.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
it talks about under page 3, number 7, town responsibilities. The town through its public works and recreation department shall remain responsible for the maintenance of football fields and grounds. But again, no mention of softball or baseball.
I'm pretty sure it applies to all fields. I will confirm that. but-
Yeah, I just think it's
Yes.
important because if we're going to be signing something, everything needs to be very clear as to who's responsible.
So,
Because that's how people get into courts, not in this case, but courts is that's things aren't
if you
clear.
read number 1 purpose, it says responsibilities governing the use of the town-owned sports fields located at Route 107.
Yep.
So, I mean, this covers all the fields, whether they specify football or otherwise. It pretty much applies to all of it, is my understanding.
Yeah, I don't read it that way. but
Okay.
Um. And then on the same page, fee schedule. We're talking about fees and I asked the question before. We're not charging any fees to the town, but yet the town wants to charge us fees. That's one of the reasons I got disturbed about all this is because, wait a minute. They use our facilities all the time and no fees are being charged because of the unwritten agreement that nobody wants to solidify, but into writing. So why are we getting charged a fee when we don't charge fees? Should we start charging fees?
If you'd like to make a motion, we can have that discussion. We'll put it on the future agenda. Or we could have a joint meeting with the select board, which they had expressed an interest in, and cover all this stuff. Because I'm tired of dealing with it, honestly. I just assume hammer it out.
Well,
They
we're
use
here
the field or
as
not.
the school board, so we're trying to resolve the school board side of things.
Okay,
I'll let
so,
the towns resolve their side of things.
so how do we do
We've
that
asked
without
before,
communicating?
we've asked before for this and we didn't get it.
Okay,
They chose, the select boards chose not to have discussions with us. If
so
they wanna
let's
hear-
maintain an
if-
adversarial
if they-
position against the town, because that's
As
working
I
great
was
for
saying,
us.
if they want to have a conversation, I have no problem if they reach out to the board
Mhm.
and ask.
Okay.
I'm not going to reach out to them because they've just basically ignored us. And it took us to hound them to get a response. So we're getting charged. Did anybody explain why we're getting charged from the town when we don't charge them?
Because the town has to pay the light bill. So they just, it's not like, using the field doesn't cost any money because you're just over there on the field. But you actually have to pay for the lights, that's all. That's the only thing. It's 30, I'll pay the goddamn light bill for the year if it's that big of an issue, $30 an hour. It's probably gonna be about $200 for the whole year for a light bill. If you wanna start paying for plowing, I mean, we can get into that, but
Well, I'm not the
I
one that,
just,
the school board is not the one that's asking for the fee. It's the select board. And I think it's reasonable for us to ask questions about why they're doing that.
okay.
You may differ, but that's fine.
This is the policy to use the fields. They adhere to the policy to use the buildings, whatever that is. I don't know off the top of my head. But this is the policy to use the field. You can take it or you can reject it. Whatever you like to do.
Yep. No, I understand how this works.
Okay, so I don't want to spend the rest of the night arguing about it.
Okay, then don't. And then on page 5, under liability and insurance. Do we have said policy already?
Page 4.
Or,
Is it page 4? I'm sorry. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
sorry.
Sorry. Thank you.
It wouldn't be hard for us to get a certificate of insurance.
And do we ask the town to do that when they're using our facilities? With the town, with the school named?
Well, I know if you had an event at, so with the rec department, you would need appropriate insurance. Coverage, near rider. I had to get one for my Thanksgiving thing.
Yep.
So yeah, we do.
The town has insurance like this
No,
for
I
us?
had to get insurance.
The other thing is, do we know why they're only asking for through the end of the year? As opposed to a longer period of time? It just seems odd that we're being asked to do something for, is that 8.5 months or whatever it is?
I think it was the first shot at it, so you go through, see how it works and back.
Yeah, trial run. And then reevaluate if everything works out.
And the town's year is January to December.
but I will say, it would make sense for this to go through the end of the school year because of the sports. If we have an agreement in September and it ends January 1st, if for some reason it doesn't get re-signed, then we have potential spring sports that might be scheduled to use the fields that we don't have an agreement for.
I mean, that's easy enough.
Yeah. I mean, and I know, I'll say this, I know where you're coming from, John. I do think some of these are a bit hair splitty, but it might be worth fleshing out including the softball. If this were, typically the more specific language is the language is considered to be at the top of the hierarchy. So if a general broad language of all fields, and then you specifically say, we'll take care of football fields, does imply that we don't have to take care of the softball fields. I know what you're saying, the intention is to do it, but maybe it's worth cleaning up the language just a little bit and maybe changing the date
I
to,
don't know who lines the baseball field. Is that a RYAA thing?
The rec took up just that.
I mean, that-
Pretty sure, I mean, for all the rec sports, for baseball and softball, you know, the coaches are out there doing it and.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the RYAA does those fields.
but I mean, I assume that that includes like mowing.
All the town mows them.
Yeah. So I just, in the interest of, because I think at its core, this is a good agreement, but it couldn't hurt to clean the language up a little bit and then maybe change the date to the end of the school year. Because then we could say, okay, well, for this school year, we know we have all our sports scheduled and we can have an agreement. I don't know how the town will feel about changing it to the end of our year. And not because it's the end of our year, but because we'll have sports that are going all spring. And we want to make sure that those sports are covered.
Really, it was because we have other organizations that want to use the field. And we
Right.
prioritize the school.
Right.
So there was any scheduling conflicts are gonna side on the school. So we wanted to get the school's usage days hammered out
Right.
before we start letting other people use the field. That's
No,
really what it comes down to. I mean, we can sit here and split hairs and call legal and do all that stuff. That's fine, but it's,
I think all I'm saying is just so that, just so we can move past.
I don't think there'll be any issue making those changes. I can't see any.
That would be, I think that's the best middle ground. I can't speak to the other parts of it, obviously. Who gets charged and doesn't and all that, but I don't think that's a horrible amount of money, but,
I know the rec department also cleans the softball and baseball fields, like before the season even starts. Like they have a whole day where they show up and kids show up and it's like a party.
yeah, I'm just,
So.
because
that
it's-
could be why it's not specifically mentioned in there because somebody else does it.
just because the whole thing is town-owned property, and if we're gonna include all of it. I just think it should say all of it. I don't think that's, like I said, if that's not a problem, it's a little bit of a tweak in terms of making sure we specifically, if we call out one field, we should call out all the fields. And to me, the end date really should be end of school year. Only because of again, the sports that happen in the spring, and then we don't have to worry about an expiring agreement in the middle. I don't think anyone's gonna exercise anything in the middle of the year, to be honest with you, but that way it's just a little more bulletproof. Just from our side. I know what you're trying to do, and I think it's the right thing.
I don't think we're gonna be using any of those lights though on the football field after.
Football.
After football, yeah, and it's a handful of games.
Yeah.
So let me do this, just so we can, because we'll go back into a discussion again. I'm gonna make, oh God, I lost it. I'm gonna make,
Hold on, first, is there anything that we are a hard no on in here, or anything that you completely disagree with, or have any, take umbrage with any of this? Do you have any issues with it?
No, I think it's a good start. I favor of having MOUs for every single thing, because I think it needs to happen. I think it should happen a long time ago. I'm a rules guy. We need rules.
Love it.
Needs change. Folklore, and it needs to be hammered out. Maybe this is the first attempt, but I agree with John, it needs to go further.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely attack the other topics as we go, but
I'll say this about the date. I didn't have it. I thought it would have been made sense to have a longer period of time, but I understand why we're trying to iron out what it looks like and how this works for each side. So I have no problem with the date as it is. I just wanted to, usually we try to get these MOUs a little longer than months. That's all.
so if we're asking for changes, do we need an action at this point? Or are we just? I would say I don't,
As to what changes we would like.
Let's review that. What
that?
changes, let's review the changes that we want to make to it.
the ones I specifically mentioned in agreement with John, I think it should list all fields. Either say all fields, or if you're gonna say. football, say
In the
football, baseball,
specific,
softball.
Yeah, just Welch Fields.
Yeah, because there's a couple spots where it just says football field,
Yeah.
so I would just change that to all fields.
Here and after referred to as Welch Fields.
yeah,
Yeah, and just take out the specific references. That way it'll, there's no question it covers everything. And then the other thing for me was this final date. And again, just for the school year. That was the two that I had thought would make sense.
Is there a reason that the town would pick the end of the year, like you said?
just because that's our year
That's their
goes
fiscal
January
year.
to
So
December,
then they
that would,
sit down
again,
and go through all their MOUs or something? I don't know.
that would be easy enough to change.
Right.
And again, because I think
Is there a length of amount of time that the board would like to see?
Like I said, I was fine once it was explained that it's basically to see how it works out. I'm fine with that. I just don't want to have to revisit this every year. That's because I think it's something that should be a longer stretch, but I understand that we're trying to see how things work for each side.
I mean, I don't know that it'll have to be reviewed necessarily, but it's, the only thing that was the major sticking point was as soon as we get our dates for the use of the field is to just pass that along so they can
Yeah.
X that off the schedule. So
Right.
No other, like I said,
Conflicts.
we had two other organizations already trying to use the field and it's like, well,
Yeah, we want to make sure we have.
we
good
gotta-
faith.
yeah, we don't want to double book it or not have it for the school to use.
So silly question. Do we have anything in place or do we care? For instance, if we have a football game on the football field and somebody else wants to use the softball field on the other side, because now we'll have two groups of people.
That's scheduled to rec. And I mean, I would assume that they know not to double book that.
Okay.
You have the
I guess the
field,
question
you
is,
have
is
the
it
baseball
truly a
field that's
double?
on the football field, and then you have the baseball field and the t-ball field. So it's
Yeah.
like 3 baseball fields.
Right.
I don't know how often they use the one on the football field. I think maybe they practice on it now and then. I don't think they play games
Where
on
they play
it.
the softball. Right?
Yeah, there's baseball, softball, and
Yeah.
All right.
Or
So-
U8 younger.
We were all at the middle school, now we all use one of them.
But this is for.
Yeah, so you only-
Agreements for the high school.
High school varsity, baseball, softball, we were all at the middle school. And the Welch field is only used for if there's a major conflict, which I don't think there has been, indoor practice.
Okay.
If the middle school has a game, the high school has.
Yeah, I was more thinking if a rec league decides they want to have a softball league, like I don't want them necessarily scheduling a softball game on the same night as a football game, because I know the parking over there's crap already.
Well, I mean, you might say baseball. I don't think the two seasons are overlap.
Right.
You're not gonna play baseball. in the
I
snow.
it was just, that was the only snare I could see, is if there were two events happening at the same time.
I mean, I don't.
So that would be my only other question, but that's it. And again, from which I agree, I don't know how likely it is, so.
And again, we're only using it 3 days in football season, I think, and I think 5 days in baseball season, softball. Softball and baseball are all the same days, it appears to be.
We're using it for, we pick 4 games, I believe, 3 to 4 games. We're using it for practice day, for game week, and a game week.
So a lot of
Just a handful of days.
Is there language you guys wanted to clean up in regards to the concession stand and the use of grills and coolers?
I mean, we can just see about not making it contradictory. Because it kind of has that vibe to it. But there was one thing, it's a state thing, that nachos and popcorn have to be prepackaged. You can't make those on site for whatever reason. I have no idea. But those are the only two restricted foods to be made on site.
Popcorn.
It doesn't make sense to me, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
And nachos, like, oh, whatever,
You can sell cans of sardines, not take our own popcorn.
probably. There's a dollar store sardines across the street.
Yummy.
Well, no, now that you explained what it means through the concession stand, I understand it. I don't know if that's worth. We can't, to be honest with you. Because it's
There's
literally means
some-
the physical building.
Right, sold
Yeah, and
from
the-
inside the concession
And the
stand.
building isn't really
Concession building.
part of the equation, because like I said, I think the Roosters bought a mobile concession stand that, I don't know if they're gonna brand over there or what, but
Well, they won't be.
no. Okay, so. My understanding, as long as they're not in the building cooking or under the little balcony thing on that little concrete pad, I think, by the window where you buy the stuff,
Yeah.
as long as they're not there or in the building, they can continue to do whatever they've been doing.
Can't think of any other changes. Personally.
School is a school board, so that's not on there.
Well, maybe this will just be the beginning of a list of MOUs that we can write up.
Well, again, I don't think it's a bad idea, because then we get into, well, like the tennis courts, like who fixed that hole? I don't know, it's on school property, but the town got a grant years ago for some, that was a whole thing, like, just fix it, like,
Right.
we'll worry about that later. That's the type of stuff I don't like dealing with.
So,
When did this start and why is it the way it is? Like the trash thing.
yes. So because we're asking for changes, do we need a motion? Or do we just bring it back another time? Because we can approve it as amended, assuming that, but I assume that this is something that the select board has to agree to.
Well, yeah, if you can change it. I mean, right now, the only change really we have on file here is the date, and that's good for next football season. So the only issue would be softball and baseball for next year. This will take you right through next football season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, because if this ends at the end of the year, then next spring doesn't really matter because we'll have to redo it.
Or we can agree to it for a length of time, and unless there's issues, revisit it or whatever, but my idea was just to get something down that we have, that we can rely on and work on from there. Because like I said, it was just basically show up and play if there's nobody there yet, is my understanding. It was
The last
a
thing we want
Wild
is
West.
someone doing that.
I drive by, there's two kids playing catch with the lights on one day. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Right.
And we were paying for that.
Yeah.
I know. So just trying to get, rein it all in here, get some control. But yeah, again, this was just the first try. I don't think that they would. don't think any changes would be that difficult. And again, moving forward, you can make it multiple years or have it be the school year or whatever.
So you're asking for us to just approve this as is, knowing it's gonna end in December and revisit change language next year or January.
I guess so. I mean, unless there's major substantial changes to it. Like, aside from minor language stuff, there's, you know, anything you want changed.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna end in December, it's a short-term agreement anyway. All right, I will then make a motion that we accept the MOU from the town for Welch Fields ending in December 31st of 2026, as presented.
Second.
Oops. Discussion, John?
Yeah, and I'll ask Marjorie, and I'm assuming Todd's gonna answer, but do we know if we've got any games scheduled for the 107 fields this spring? Or is it just at middle school?
Got the schedule right here. Actually, it was a couple dates in April and May.
Baseball softball.
It started this week or
I know.
last week.
I think they're all middle school, but I couldn't. Exactly.
No, we approved,
You mean?
like 5 dates for those fields
Because it's,
on Monday.
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everything's clear. If it is. I get that. 'Cause I would ask the board, does it make sense to do this if there's still uncertainty about whether they're gonna maintain, and I presume they are, but again, when things get ugly, go by the letter of what's written, and it only talks about football fields being maintained.
Dates for 107 Babe Ruth Baseball Field, 4/16, 4/23, 5/11, 5/15, 5/21, 3 PM to 6:30 PM.
What was that, a total of 5 dates, Tony?
Yeah. 107 Softball Field 1, 4/16, 4/23, 5/11, 5/15, 5/21, 3 to 6:30 PM.
Same dates.
Probably the same.
And 9/18, 9/25, 10/9, 5 to 10 for football season. And those were all approved on Monday.
Those dates that you just read for the softball are approved by the town.
Correct.
I mean, I feel like it's covered. I know that the language is messy, but in the interest of getting it on the books for now.
Like, I can handle.
Thank you. Concentrating.
All right, so
At this point, I'm not gonna change the motion, I guess.
we're done. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Right, unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll,
So,
bring that up to the town manager. And I don't think the date. will be-
yeah, I mean, I do think it'd be worth putting up.
Well, it makes sense to cover a whole year and not have to do it like you said. I just see that as, unless there's any changes, just sign it, and move forward.
Always do an amendment later.
Student last day of school.
Expecting this might become a conversation, I'm just gonna make the motion off the top, but, I know this is to move it from a from a Monday back to the previous Friday,
Before
so.
we do anything, can we hear from Marjorie about the logic behind doing this?
Sure.
Wouldn't that what we normally?
Okay, so they are looking to see if we do the June 12th as the last day. RHS at that point will have 1,000, almost 19 hours, middle school 120, and the elementary school 1,006. 990 is required at the high school, 945. I don't know why that 945 is there. I think that should be 990 as well,
It
required.
has to do with, no, it doesn't. I thought it might have to do with fourth and fifth.
Right, because that would make
Oh,
the
yeah,
the
right,
LRES.
But if
Nine
LRES
forty-five.
990.
992,
I
so
think 990, LRES should be 945.
you think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
Either way,
Yes.
we're over it.
grade with the middle school. I got it. Okay.
And then 994, the elementary school, like we just said. So if we go until the 15th, you can see those additional hours where we'll be at for the 15th. But by the 12th, we'll have our hours anyway.
I have a question.
Preschools.
Now, last time we ended on a Monday, we had what, like 60%, 45% attendance, so it's pretty low.
When we ended up changing it last year too, for the same reason.
Yeah, I mean, what was the discussion last year? Because I don't,
Same, pretty much.
Same idea.
Nobody comes back on the Monday and just, I think, again, we had 60% of people either were here or not here. Either way, that's a significant amount of people.
right, and on the last day of school, there's only one final for the high school, so it would be, you know, kids would have to come in for an hour, 2 hours on Monday.
Didn't we change that last time to the 5th?
Reschedule. there.
No,
That was the
seniors.
graduation.
Oh, for seniors, sorry. Yeah,
They come in for 2-hour exams. Each exam is a 2-hour exam, which they have to stay the whole 2 hours for. But even if they get done in an hour, they still have to stay because that incentivizes the old.
Yeah.
There you go.
They still do it.
Well,
After 5 minutes, but either way, yeah.
Yeah. I got no problem with this.
so I'll make the motion that we move the last day of school from Monday, the 15th of June, back to Friday, the 12th of June, as presented.
I'll second it.
All right, discussion, John?
you know, object, I feel strongly that we should be utilizing every day we have possible for the students to be educated. So I will vote no for that reason.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? All right. Opposed? That's one. John opposed. Call for resolutions. This is the same stuff as every year.
For purposes of making life easy, I have no calls for resolution. Does anybody else?
Nor do I.
Conversation.
My esteemed colleagues have no resolutions to call for. So thank you for that. We don't need a motion for not calling for resolutions, right? Or you want to make a motion that we
No,
have
just
nothing?
move on.
We're done.
No, move on.
I'll let Joe do all of it.
Because there's a list of continuing ones, but those are gonna
Right,
go
but those we'll have to
regardless.
take up later in this,
Yeah.
in the summer
We're just not
Or-
adding anything to the list.
at this time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's all the same stuff we've been dealing with, open enrollment and stuff that doesn't get through, they keep pushing through. I'm not a big fan of it. And you know, if you look at it, the School Board Association very rarely supports a lot of the resolutions. I don't think we do
I
either.
don't think I've seen them support one individually raised motion
No.
from any school district
Because it's all just like,
resolution.
give us more money. I get it, but it's these things are barking up the wrong tree, in my opinion. So there is some interesting stuff going through the legislation, the state Concord, that will make our lives interesting.
Isn't
Into that later. Yeah. They don't make our life easy.
No.
All right, nominations, resignations. What do we got?
I will say, this is the first time I've been in a final interview for somebody that we were hiring because in Terry's absence. So this was a very neat experience for me. So we are nominating Amanda Knight to be the math teacher at the high school at a step BA1.
I'll make a motion that we accept the nomination of Amanda Knight for teacher at the high school.
Steve, discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Committee reports. John,
Budget committee met last week, just organizational meeting, nothing big happened other than Jeff Roy is the chair again.
All right.
CIP has something scheduled, but I'll have to look. We haven't met yet, but it's on the list.
I'd like to see that committee actually kind of get down to some stuff, and you got all the visits and you've seen everything now, try to kind of, and I know it was, 2019 or 20, I think the town, Joe Ilsley changed the 20-year thing, like made it the whole, which I was not a big fan of.
It's like any other planning, I think it's good to have a 20-year view, but you can never expect anything past 3 or 4 years to be
Yeah,
even remotely
again,
close.
how do you plan, especially with the last 5 years? You're gonna plan 20 years out, like how do you
Yeah.
even do that?
Yeah, no, it's good to know like what you've just bought will last 15 years. So you have to look in 15, but you have no idea what it's gonna cost. That's about all it's worth. But
Your committee reports. Seeing on. Superintendent.
Your big moments.
I know, I'm so sorry. Am I allowed to talk about the governor's visit tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's gonna be here tomorrow.
What time?
10:30 to 11:30. We did a day walkthrough today to make sure everything is gonna go off without a hitch. I believe you all got a formal invitation, so if any of you are gonna be there, we have seats for you to be there.
Yeah, front row.
At school.
I know. I figured some of you were. I told Joe, because Joe had stopped by the office earlier today, I gave him a heads up that we were gonna be, because we didn't know if that had gone out or not, because we're kind of like just picking up pieces as they fall, so,
It's the safe.
fall, but we're holding them up.
This is the safe driving thing.
Yes, yeah. So I believe at first it was supposed to start off as a press conference, and now it's just turning into an assembly.
She was just in Raymond, I think, like 2 weeks ago for a groundbreaking.
I saw that. It's funny, I saw the notification. I thought, oh, I didn't think she was coming to the school for a while, but it was at
She was
the-
here at the new DMV, so she's been here a couple times.
She's at a groundbreaking.
Development that.
Development on 27.
Yeah,
Oh, the
they built apartments.
affordable housing one,
I
yeah.
love that term affordable.
We have some students gonna ask her some questions, and they're gonna give her a tour of the school and everything like that, so we're pretty excited. I hope the school's excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have visitors.
Well, and it's, I can't imagine, getting on her schedule is easy. So it's cool that she's taking it.
And I will say that she attended the gala, the RCY gala, and she stayed there almost all night. And
Did she really?
typically, like, I know when, when like Maggie Hassan came, she was out the door before the next person was at the podium. But I'll tell you, she was there all night. Like, she sat at the table, she was there, and it was great to see.
That's cool.
All right,
It can come. I wanted to.
I know I'm supposed to go back to work tomorrow.
I have meetings like until 1. I might be able to move some stuff, but
Yeah, we have SATs tomorrow, so we need all hands on deck for that one.
All right. Correspondence or other. Anyone got correspondence or other? I know, Nature's Classroom is taking off next week.
yeah, they are.
Exciting.
That's been, that's been a very interesting thing in my house for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, yours and mine both.
I don't know how yours has been, but
She's very excited and very nervous. My older daughter won a few years ago and she loved it. So we're hoping she has a good time. But yeah,
That'll be fun.
kudos to the 5th grade team for taking our entire grade to Massachusetts for this. It's a very cool experience. So
Weather should be good, so that'll be nice.
sounds like it, yeah. No rain anyway.
got the list of all the stuff. You get shower sandals and walking shoes, and there's a whole list of stuff you have to have ready, so went out and got it all. And it's a nightmare,
She
actually.
just got the can. Had to get the can,
Did you get a little,
little quick can.
Well, my stepdaughter is very particular about the stuff she'll wear.
8th graders are going to DC.
All right.
That's the week after, right? No,
No, it's Memorial
When is
Day
it?
weekend.
it's not Memorial Day weekend.
Is it Memorial Day?
No, it's not.
Late?
No, that's not till
What's
the
not?
end of May, right?
Nope, it is May 4th. So yeah, that week after break.
Star Wars Day.
Cinco de Mayo.
You can tell us
Cinco
which
de
side,
Mayo Eve.
which side I said, I went right to Star Wars Day. He went
May
to
the
Cinco de
4th be
Mayo.
with you. I'm just looking at. my schedule. Yeah, 4th to the 8th. So they'll be headed off. Very exciting.
I'm- Never a dull moment. Approval, manifest signing.
Accounts payable tonight, $549,986.73. Payroll, $549,389.73. For a grand total of $1,099,376.52.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're still gonna have to hold them because Terry has not signed off on them yet, so. But you have all signed them. Thank you.
Well, his designee can't sign that? I guess not the
I'm the
superintendent or.
designee.
Yeah,
I've already signed.
Oh, right, yeah, you probably can't sign it twice, right?
Yeah, Miss Whitmore, why is your name here?
Yeah.
twice?
Oh, that's a problem. Well, minutes.
We approve the public minutes of April 1st, 2026.
Right, second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
All right, I abstain.
make a motion, we approve the non-public minutes of April 1st, 2026.
I'll second. Sorry, we're just looking. We don't have to change anything. We can just leave them, right?
I don't think I was there for that one either, right?
And I forgot, we'll get a check to make sure.
And seal.
Looking up.
Seal, reseal.
Yeah, they've already been
Sealed.
in for 30 days, so. They'll be done sealed in 30 days from the first. I did.
Oh,
Yeah, I second.
Okay, my bad. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I abstain. So 3-0-1. Thank you, Steve, for game time decision last meeting. I couldn't sit here for any amount of
Yeah, no
time.
worries. I felt,
I was-
I literally ran in at the last minute too, because I was super late.
Well, I was having the conundrum of, all right, well, do I start and leave or do I just leave? And like, I'm just gonna go.
No, I gotta take care of your back, man.
It was brutal.
All right, you want the next one?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the March 18, 2026 site visit, non-public minutes and seal the minutes.
Second.
Thanks. Steve, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Make a motion that we approve the March 18, 2026 regular meeting, non-public minutes, item A, and seal the minutes.
All right, second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor? Aye. And, it's the end, right?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, second by John, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Okay, I can officially say, I almost said to my wife on the way out the door, this will be a quick.